In investing in marketable securities, you can change your mind tomorrow and sell if you feel you've made a mistake. When you buy a business, we buy businesses to keep. So our margin of safety is not in the price we pay. It's in crossing the threshold of being virtually certain that we're buying into a business that has durable competitive advantage, one with good economics, and we're buying in with people who have a passion for the business and who are going to run it the same way the year after they sold to us that they ran it the year before. So our margin of safety gets more into qualitative characteristics than the quantitative aspects that you're probably referring to in terms of the Ben Graham standard of buying a business for. He would say buy a stock. If you think a stock is worth $10, don't pay $9.90 for it, but pay $8 or something like that. When you're buying businesses, it's a different criteria. You're buying to keep, and you better make sure that you're buying both a business that you're going to like 10 or 20 years from now and a management that you're going to love 10 or 20 years from now. We don't look for specific sectors. We do look for businesses that I can understand. Now, when I say understand, that means where I feel that I have a high degree of confidence in my ability to see what they're going to look like 5, 10, 20 years from now. It isn't that I don't understand, say, the software products in general of a Microsoft, but I don't know how that industry is going to develop over 10 or 20 years. I didn't know that Google was going to come along in terms of search or all kinds. So anything that's rapidly developing, that has lots of change embodied in it, by my definition, I won't understand. It may do wonders for society. It may have what appears to be a very bright future, but I don't bring anything to that game where I know, not only I don't know more than the other fellow, I don't know as much as the other fellow in evaluating what the industry will look like in 10 years. So the things I look at businesses that are reasonably easy to evaluate where their products, how they will fit into the economic picture, how their economics will look in a 5 or 10 or 20-year period. I mean, to take an extreme example, I can understand Nestle, it's obviously, and you can understand it. Anybody that's had any experience in business can look at that company and figure out in a general way where it will be in 5 or 10 years. And we're looking, Nestle isn't going to be on the list, but we're looking for businesses like that are quite understandable. And but I don't go out and say I'm looking for the steel industry or I'm looking for the, whatever it may be, office equipment industry or something of the sort. But unless you're willing to take on the obligation to be the chief risk officer, I don't think you should have the CEO job. And I think, we are seeing the consequences of people not understanding the vehicles they were setting up, the instruments they were selling. It's crazy. It's designed to sell stuff that there's a lot of money in for the person who sells it, and it's led to a lot of people learning that what they thought was AAA was triple C or something of the sort. And the world has made some huge mistakes, and they've been made by very big institutions, and they won't make exactly the same mistakes again, but they'll make similar mistakes 10 or 15 years from now.
You would buy a bank?
Oh, I'd buy a bank, but I'd want to know who the banker was. I think it's very difficult in terms of, you're right, we own stock in companies where I don't agree with everything they're doing, but, I'm sure my kids don't agree with everything I do. I mean, you can't expect 100% adherence to anything, any of your particular beliefs or values with any other large institution. So if we own stock in the ABC company or the XYZ company, they'll probably be doing something I wouldn't do, at some point. We don't feel a responsibility for that when we own the stock of the company. I mean, if we have control over a company, we want it to be run in a way that you could describe their activities on the front page of the paper and no one would be embarrassed about it. I don't believe in using, at Berkshire Hathaway level, I tell the subsidiaries, the ones we buy, keep doing what you do in the philanthropic area. Just don't give to your personal causes, but anything you do that you do for your communities, whatever it may be, you just keep following those policies. You don't need to check them with us. I have no idea what, of our 76 companies, who gives how much to charity or which charities they give to or anything else. They handle those matters themselves. At the Berkshire Hathaway holding company level, I do not believe in giving away our shareholders' money. I think that that's their money to determine and they should make the decision on it. But I don't think it's my job at Berkshire to take the 400,000 shareholders who have entrusted me with money. I don't think it's my job to start allocating them to whatever I think is the most important charity. I think the thing to do is let them allocate their own funds.